Okay. This is about the 51st thousandth try I've tried to record this. I'm done doing retakes. This is it. This is the final version. I'm going to call this the end of the year wrap up. Now, you're probably wondering where I've been and how my year has gone. Well, my year has been absolute garbage. Okay? The last couple years has been really bad. I thought 2020 was bad. I thought 2021 was bad. Because, what with nearly dying from kidney failure and then having to go on dialysis. But 2022 takes the proverbial cake. And that cake's made of shit, and it's got a bomb in it just for effect. So let's start this off with the biggest thing that happened. My grandmother, well, okay, it's not the biggest thing in terms of a one of the biggest things. That's the right way. My grandmother ended up in the nursing home permanently. She developed dementia. It's been raging on for a while, but, we didn't know what it actually was. And, well, she ended up with a medical situation, and the hospital ended up in the hospital. They're like, well, she needs 24/7 care, and she can't be at home alone. And because I can't be here 24/7 because of fucking dialysis, we had to put her in a nursing home. And, well, that made an already nasty situation worse because the nursing home takes all of her money and I'm left here fending off the bills with what little I have. And I mean little. I'm managing the bills very well given the circumstances, but when the taxes roll around, I'm screwed. I am literally at the point where I'm going to end up losing my home. And I have been stressing this for a long time, but it's like it just goes into the air and nobody understands it. Well, you can imagine that generated a lot of stress. I mean, I've been under a lot of stress, but this really kicked things up a notch. And, of course, throw dialysis on top of that. And then we get to October, where you guys all saw I had a whole Hoagie Weed lineup the entire month except for 2 instances. Well, unfortunately, I couldn't do those because, and there were no streams because I nearly died. I'm not exaggerating. I am not seeking pity. These are the facts. On October 13th, about 3 in the afternoon, I started bleeding internally. I ended up in the hospital within hours, and, it was bad. I got at least 7 bags of blood. At least. I lost track at some point. Because, when they start pulling out 2 bags of blood at the same time and hooking you up and giving you that, it just, yeah. I was losing blood like crazy. And it turns out I had 6 holes in my lower GI that I was bleeding from. And it's obviously a problem that had been brewing for a long time. There's no way this stuff appears overnight. But what really nearly killed me was the idiot who decided that dialysis was so super important that even though I was bleeding internally, and I'm going to stress that yet again, bleeding internally, that I needed dialysis. Great. My body's already weakened. Let's weaken it even more, because that's what dialysis does. It weakens a body. That's a side effect, but... So, of course, I must have crashed during the dialysis, and mind you, a lot of details from here about the situation get fuzzy for me. I remember everything going black, and when I came to, they were yanking me off the machine in a hurry, a panicked hurry, and I found out that the radiology had intervened and demanded I be brought up. But it felt like there was something they weren't telling me, or maybe I didn't hear it. I don't know. But the damage was done. I couldn't move. I couldn't move my goddamn body. It took 4 guys to pick me up and put me on the machine for the CAT scan. And I couldn't move. And when they got me out to the hallway after the CAT scan, I felt myself going away from my body. I don't know where I was going, but it wasn't Earth. In fact, it seemed more like a black void than anything, which kind of disturbs me, but at the same time, I don't know what to make of it. But the head of the team that ended up patching me up, he saw what was going on, and he said something to me that infuriated me so bad, and I don't know what he said. It made me come back to my body to growl at him. I literally came back from death to growl at a dude. I remember what I said, too. I refuse to die. Fix me. And they did. The most of the operation was a blur. I remember them saying, you'll feel warm, you'll feel pinch, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember any of that except for occasional warm feeling. And then when they were done, I picked my head up and because I realized I feel better. I literally was looking around all groggy and like, hey, what? What's going on? I feel better. But yeah, so I spent over a week in the hospital because of this stuff, and all kinds of bad stuff came about because of that. It took weeks to even heal up a bit. So that's where I was initially. But you're probably going, well, Hoagie, if you healed up, why haven't you been doing any streams or videos? And honestly, I may have healed physically, but mentally, I am not in a good place. I am so burnt out on everything that it's really killing my desire to do stuff. I'm barely playing video games. I haven't been playing them for fun in a long time, and that really makes it bad. I basically end up going through the motions, and that's what those videos suck the most. And of course, I've been arguing with my friends, particularly one of the ones who tried to help me the hardest. Granted, a lot of his ideas just wouldn't work out for me. I mean, like, it's been a whole thing of like, oh, Fallout 4 is popular. You should do that. I hate trend chasing. I don't want to play a game just because it's popular. I've never been that way. Okay, I didn't even play Final Fantasy VII until 10 years after it came out because, boy, what was all the rage? Final Fantasy. What were everybody in school talking about? Final Fantasy VII. Cloud and his Buster Sword and blah, 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 blah. Yakety schmackety, shut up. I do not care. Well, 10 years later, I finally tried the game. I was like, oh, hey, I actually like this game. I really like it. Damn, I shouldn't have poo-pooed it when I did. But that's how I am. I don't like trend chasing. I don't believe, I'm a child of the 80s. Every new thing that came out, they made it look like you were going to get popular when you got that. There was like these miniature skeet shooting thingamajigs. I forget what the hell they're called at this point. And a little kid, little Hoagie saw that and went, Mom, I want to get those. They'll make me look cool with the other kids. Nobody had them. Nobody gave a damn. I just looked stupid. So, I don't like trend chasing. If I happen to buy into something that's popular, it's probably because I actually think it's cool, like Elden Ring. I mean, that was really popular. And I got it because I thought it looked cool. In fact, the first thing that sold me on it was the Mimic fight. I thought that was so awesome when I saw that video of that Mimic taking it, the dude's form and coming at him with dual swords and them having an epic freaking battle. I mean, I suck to holy hell with Souls games, but that was awesome. So there are exceptions, but ugh. But when it comes to popular stuff on YouTube, a lot of that stuff I just don't care for. I mean, I don't like Fallout 4. I don't like the way it's designed. In fact, the only thing I actually like about it is the power armor. And I that's just how it works. I don't like the fact that you get it at the very beginning of the game and then you just have it. You never work for it. I mean, maybe if they had done it differently where, you know, you get it and then you fight the Deathclaw, but in the process it trashes the armor beyond repair. It's like there are more suits of power armor out there you can find. It's like, ooh, I might actually be interested in doing that. But no. If I'm going to do this stuff, I'm going to do it because I want to do it. I'm going to play games I want to play. Things that I find fun. And only things I find fun. I don't want to do streams and videos where I'm playing a game just to play it. Because, like I said, those videos suck. You don't get into those kind of things. You don't put your best face forward. You don't make the good jokes. You don't react well. It's like, oh boy. Wow. Okay, I know a streamer who got paid to play Warframe. This dude does not play Warframe. And you could hear it. You can not, if you knew the game, you would see. He not only doesn't play it, but he doesn't goddamn care. Steve does the best impression of it. Warframe is my favorite game of all time. Beep boop. I mean, that's what it is. That's how it comes across. You know, when you saw me doing videos like the Phantasy Star 4 playthrough where I'm doing all those silly voices and whatnot, I'm having a good fucking time. When I'm doing, you know, videos with Steve and shit's happening in Phasmo and I'm making sarcastic remarks or this or that, I'm having a good time. You know, I could be me. I could be the happy Hoagie that everybody tends to like instead of grouchy sour Hoagie who's just doing it to do it. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what I come up with. I've had a few ideas, and some of them I've tried before, but they haven't been very popular. But people are going to have to, you know, they're going to have to temper their expectations, because no matter what state I'm in, I'm still dealing with dialysis and that bullshit, and I'm still scrabbling to make money, which, that's not going so great. And that's the biggest concern of all. Because, hey, like I said, I'm not looking for pity, but I am stressing this fact. When the taxes roll in, I'm absolutely screwed. I will end up losing my home. And, well, I lose my home, there ain't going to be no more videos and streams, period. I mean, that's why I have the Patreon. That's why I have the ability to donate. It's like, I need to make money. And I know people are hurting financially, but hey, any of you can understand exactly where I'm coming from on that. So, we'll see. I mean, maybe I'll get lucky and overcome this mighty mountain that stands dauntingly before me and get rich and become next PewDiePie. And who God do I not want that? I just can I have the Pewdie money without the PewDiePie? Anyway, yeah, it's been an ugly year. I'm not sure how the next year is going to go. I mean, if the last few days have been any indicator, I don't think it's going to get much better. They fucked up on Friday and stabbed me in places in my arm for dialysis they shouldn't have, which made my arm swell up very violently. And I couldn't get dialysis then. I had to get it on Monday instead, and those extra days over Christmas vacation really hurt. It took me until today, December 28th, 2022, from Monday the 26th to recover. And I'm not even fully recovered. I mean, I am going to go on about this a bit more. Dialysis sucks. Okay, for those of you who don't have to go through it, I'm going to say it flat out. You'll never truly understand how bad this stuff really is. I mean, those of you who get dialysis, like me, all of us tend to get it. I mean, we every one of us has differing levels of tolerances for this stuff. Yeah, there are a few people who can get hours and hours of dialysis and get up and go to work and be perfectly fine, but they are the exception. They are not the norm. Everyone else I see, they're stumbling out of the clinic. They're about to fall over, or they're so they can't function. And this stuff has been destroying me. I'm sure that those holes were magnifying the negative side effects for me, but I was literally at a point where I could not function during the week. I'd get one day a week where I would be able to make a video or do this or do that, and I hit my breaking point. Burnout is a bitch. The stress from YouTube and all that is a bitch. Dialysis is a bitch. The aftermath of dialysis is an even bigger bitch. And you combine all this crap, and it's no wonder I'm walking around with steam coming off my head. You okay, Hoagie? And I'm just like, gah. The plow horse is going to collapse at some point. And you're going to need a new plow horse. And honestly, dialysis is a torture session for me. And it makes it even worse when you consider there's only two ways out for me. One is the kidney transplant. The other is the kidney project. The kidney transplant is not a viable option. That's the one that most people go to, but they've kind of sabotaged it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've been lied to, but they want me to lose 77 or more pounds. I'm a big boy. Okay? I am overweight, and there's no question about that. But the amount of weight they're asking me to lose to even qualify is ridiculous. I've never lost that kind of weight in my entire life. And I used to exercise 2 hours a day every day without break, without pause. I was shooting for more before diabetes nearly killed me. And I didn't lose anywhere near that amount of weight when I was actively working towards it. At best, I would say I lost 20 or 30 pounds. And yeah, that's amazing. That's great. But my overall weight hasn't changed much since middle school. I'm a big boy. And that alone is just too much of a daunting task. And when you consider this, I have to lose that weight and keep it off, and I could be waiting years for a kidney transplant, and the kidney transplant could go bad within a day. Oh, and then let's not forget I have to be on anti-rejection drugs, which means I won't have an immune system, so I'll have to be scared of every Tom, Dick, and Harry who sneezes in my general direction. And no, the kidney transplant, and I won't get my freedom back either. I'll have more doctors up my backside than ever before. So it's a trap as far as I'm concerned. The kidney project, however, offers the functionality of a proper kidney without the without the anti-rejection shit. And maybe less doctors. And it at least doesn't, there's a high likelihood that it's a guaranteed thing, but don't know when that'll come out. The last report I got was back in July, or June or July, I'm not sure which actually, where they were doing animal testing and all the animals they tested responded extremely well, which is, great. But it could be more years before it's available to the public. I mean, this thing would be the solution to the whole problem in the first place for everybody who needs a kidney transplant or is on dialysis. It'd be the best solution, either a long-term or a permanent one. But, yeah. This stuff gets to me. It really does. This is probably the most. I liken dialysis to a nightmare that I just can't wake up from. I've had some bad nightmares over my time, but I've always been able to wake up from them. I've always been able to sit up in my bed and go, "Oh, holy shit, what was that all about?" Well, it ain't real, but unfortunately, this is real, and it's I know there are people with worse problems out there, but I can only speak for myself, and unfortunately, I'm me. So I'm the one who has to deal with this, and whataboutisms aren't going to work with me. Anyway. It's been a bad year. And I pray that the next year is better, but I'm not expecting it. And if you're still with me and if I'm still here, hey, great. Glad to have you. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.